We're Daf Beis Omid Aleph, Makos Daf Beis Omid Aleph, almost by the end of the Omid, about 8 lines from the bottom. Mino Hani Mili. We have discussed till now on the Mishnah that the Eidim Zoymemin do not get what they wanted to accomplish in their testimonial. However, we give them Malkus. But from where do you take this idea that you should give them something else, not what they did? Why not? You're telling me that the Mishnah mentioned a case where we don't do what they are wanted to do. We don't do the din of Zoymemin. From where comes those words? Who taught you to learn that if a Kohen aid tells about another Kohen that he is a Cholol because he's a son of a Grush and a Chalutze, why would this Kohen aid Zoymem not become an aid Zoymem? Why wouldn't you give them the punishment that they deserve to get? That's even worse. How do you take to learn something like that, to say that they don't get? From where do you take that? What's the precedent of telling me that they don't get? Why don't they get what they wanted to do? Says the Gemara, from where do you take this din that you don't give to the Eidim Zoymemin what they wanted to do? Omar Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Rabbi Shua ben Levi said, now in the parenthesis it says Omar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. Omar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish means this. Rabbi Shua ben Levi says in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. But it's in parenthesis. Why? Because if you know who Rabbi Shua ben Levi is, even though there's an argument, if Rabbi Shua ben Levi is at the end of Tanoim and the beginning of Ameroim, or if it's another Rabbi Shua ben Levi, but Rabbi Shua ben Levi is famously known for the person that went up Bashamayim without being buried. Rabbi Shua ben Levi, the story when Eliyahu Novi revealed to him, and then after a while he didn't show himself 3 days. And why didn't he show himself? He asked Eliyahu Novi what happened, and Eliyahu Novi told him there was a lion that ate in his neighborhood, ate someone. So he said, "What do you want from me?" He said the tragedy happened. So Eliyahu Novi told him, "But you should have davened. It shouldn't happen any tragedies in your neighborhood. So I can't meet people like that." Anyway, so Rabbi Shua ben Levi is right after Rabbi Yehuda Anossi. And we know that Mishnah finishes with a member of Rabbi Shua ben Levi. We see in Pirkei Avot Rabbi Shua ben Levi. So in the Tana Amoira, whichever. So it cannot be that he should repeat something from Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. Resh Lakish is after Rabbi Yochanan. And he was older than Rabbi Yochanan. So it makes no sense that he should repeat from Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. So we're going to take it out, as it's not in the Gilyon, it's Maratz Chayes explains, and I think that we can understand why there is Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. I think there's a reason, because he said later something, and they put it in over here. But anyway, Rabbi Shua ben Levi says the following: do you know why we cannot make those Eidim Zoymemin exactly what they deserve? The Omar Kro, because this is a pasuk in the Torah. The Torah says, "Ba'edim zoymemim," says the pasuk, "Va'asisem loy kasher zomam la'asis la'ochiv." Right? We learned already before about the Eidim zoymemim. It said kasher zomam la'asis la'ochiv, but it said kasher va'asisem loy. We spoke that loy means not to him; it means to them, to the set Eidim. But you should do to him. And exactly what was mentioned here before. He should do to him what he wanted to do. Loy to him, and not to his children. The Eidim wanted to make that those Kohanim should be Chalol. What are you going to do to him? You're going to make him a Chalol. He's going to be a cholol forever and ever and ever. So what did the children, why would the children become not chololim? Loy, it says loy, make to him, not make lezaroi. Otherwise, would be no problem. A punishment is a punishment. Yes, the same way the Kohen marries a grusha and he makes his children to be a cholol. So the same thing is over here. You said a false testimony. Too bad, you became a cholol. I will accept that. I don't have a problem to punish you in a way that you're going to punish your children. I don't have a problem with that. But I have a problem with the posuk says, "Basisem loy." So not because my logic tells me that. It's a posuk. It says clear, do it to him and don't do to their children, to his children. And here you cannot do to him without doing his children. Really? Says the Gemara. Why not? It's only a punishment. Let's not kid ourselves. He's not really a cholol, the Eidim. If we're going to make the Eidim a cholol, we're not making them a real cholol. We just gave him a punishment. So give him a punishment only for him. If you're really a cholol min Torah, when you marry a grusha or something, or you went with a cholol, with a zoina, so I understand. The Torah said go to the children, but here we're only giving a punishment what they wanted to do. So give it only to them. Make the day should become chololim and the zaroi back to normal, no problem. Only the parents wanted to testify. What's your problem? Vasisem loy. You're going to accomplish what it says loy. Says the Gemara, no. Sie geht nicht. Why doesn't geht nicht? Says Rabbi Shua Levi answers on that. I cannot. It says beinon kasha zomam lasois. It said you should do what they wanted to do. What did they want to do? They wanted to do to this person and his children. When you're going to do only on them, you're only not giving them the punishment that they wanted. And you do not have that case what they wanted to do. So therefore, I'm rest with no alternative. I can't give him what he wanted. So I'm giving him Malchus. Why did I give him Malchus? Not a Gemara. We'll get to it. But meanwhile, we understand, according to Rabbi Shua Levi, it says a posuk, loy v'loy lezaroi, so you can do it only to him or not to his children. Okay. Bar Pada Oimer. Bar Pada says the following. Bar Pada is, by the way, Rabbi Yehuda Bar Pada. He was also in the same time, basically the same time as Rabbi Shua ben Levi, a little bit, right, the first generation of Ameroim, right by the Tanoim. So it fits that he can argue with the same generation. So he's arguing. He says, Bar Pada said, you want to know why we cannot give to the Kohen to make them a Zoimim the same thing like them? I understand you said a posuk, but I'm going to make you better. The Ritva says, I'm going to tell you a kal v'chomer. Kal v'chomer means it's obvious that you cannot. Kal v'chomer means light and heavy. I'm saying madoch. In English they say madoch. Madoch. What is the kal v'chomer? Ma hamechalel eino mischalel. Habo lechalel v'lo yichilel ein edin shlo yitzchalel. Explain. Ma hamechalel. Madoch. If I say that the mechalel, the kohen that marries a grusha, he himself does not become a cholol. He's a sheni yid. He did avera. He married the cholol. He married the grusha. He did an avera. But what we learned, we established that he does not become a cholol. Only his kids, because it says v'lo yichalel zar oy be'amov. Be'amov zar is only his children, not him. He never becomes a cholol. So if the mechalol, the one that's really doing chilul, he's not becoming a cholol, the Eidim, they only wanted to make a cholol. Habole chalol, they only wanted to make a cholol, veloy chilul, and they didn't make chilul. They only wanted, they didn't even come to that stage what the Kohen would marry the grusha. They only said so. No, the Inadin Shlo is chalol. Obviously, they cannot become a cholol. So really, the Ritva learns like this. This Kal V'chomer is not that he learns it from a Kal V'chomer. He doesn't hold it from the postuk of Rishon Levi. He holds. He tells him, I'll make it stronger. Or he holds. He argues with Rishon Levi. I don't need a postuk. But me, it's obvious. It's common sense, logic. If he doesn't become the Kohen Whoever wanted to make him? Obviously not. Then the question, maskif lo Ravino. Ravino contradicting. Maskif means it comes with the tkifut. A question, it's not like, I want to ask you a tiny question. I wonder, please explain me. Maskif is an attack. He comes and he tells, Ravina said, by the way, Ravina is 4 generations later. He's the end of the Amoraim. Ravina and Rav Ashi, they're almost like finished the Gemoro, the Talmud. So it's hundreds of years later. But it doesn't matter. It's the Gemoro brings it down as the Gemoro. Rav Ashi asks on the Kal V'chomer of Barpado. In other words, when they learned the Gemoro, they learned, Shmuel Levi gave us a lesson. Loi v'lo lezaroi, kasher zomam, and you don't have it. Loi v'lo. Barpado says, Kal V'chomer. And then from Ravina, after that, generations later, he comes and the Gemara puts it together. The Gemara says, Maskif v'lo Ravina asked, Im Kain, according to you, Kal V'chomer, you abnormed, you canceled, you made a big strike on the whole Torah of Edom Zoymemin. If I'm going to use your logic of Kal V'chomer, no more Edom Zoymemin. Or at least I have a question on Edom Zoymemin. So he's basically saying, you can't make everything, you make a Kal V'chomer, but it has to be befitting. It doesn't fit over here. Why doesn't it fit over here? Page B, page 2B. Omid base. Uma ha-soikel. Eino niskel. Ha-boliskel v'lei sokel. Eino din shlei sokel. If I use your Kal V'chomer, I'm going to use the Kal V'chomer for something else. And over there, you can't tell me that. It won't make sense. Now, ma ha-soikel. It's a very tough line over here. There's a machlokes Rashi and Tosfos. So we're going to go first with Rashi, and then we're going to see if you don't get it, if you don't think it's something that a lot of problems. So we'll go with the Tosfos also. Ma hasoikel. Hasoikel says like this. We established already in the previously shiurim that Edom that come and their testimony was not only fulfilled with a verdict, it was executed, it was accomplished. Yeah, what did we learn? Horgu ein erogin. If the person that they testified killed someone, the person never killed, but the Beis Din killed the person based on their testimony, and then after that they were contradicted with hazoma. Too bad. Ein erogin. They don't get killed. So he said like this: Ma hasoikel. Hasoikel means, he said one, but it means two. Hasoikel. Madoch. If they accomplished skila, they got the person should get skila. Eino niskel. They themselves don't get skila. They don't get killed. Madoch, if they would have killed with their words, they wouldn't get killed. Habolis girl. Now they only came to wanting to kill them, but the bottom line, it didn't materialize because now they got hazoma and the person was saved. Habolis koil, someone that's going to get killed, the eight zoimim that's going to get killed, and it didn't get abolis sokal, and the bottom line, it didn't kill them. It shouldn't get killed. You can say Kal V'chomer because it breaks in the scenario when they got to kill, it doesn't work. Elo machaverto. Elo means bat. Machaverto means better, nicer, more beautiful. Kedushaninun mikora, we learned in the first place, as Rabbi Shmuel Levi said, loy kashizoma loy lezaroi, for him and not for his children. And you have to do kashizoma. You have to do exactly what he wanted, and it doesn't work. Tosfos asked a very simple question. And I think when we learned it, we see it right away. Why do you use the word hasoikel? We the whole time we said before, it said horgu, when they killed. Why do you use the word steiner, circle? Why? What kind of language, what kind of language is circle? Number two, no, your question it doesn't begin even. That's Edom Zoymemin. The Torah tells you a law. The Torah tells you a law. You have a kasha, gute shate. We already established kasha zomam lasois, what he wanted to do and not what he did. That's Edom Zoymemin. So you have a problem? Madoch. There's no Madoch. The Torah says, Eidim Zoimemin, when they killed, no. Kasher Zomam, only when they want, they get punished. Otherwise, they don't get punished. Reason for that, we can find many reasons. But that's what the Torah says. Forget about Kal V'chomer. Here, but in a certain case, when I come by Cholol, I can use in exception. Sometimes in exception, I can use it. By Kohen, I cannot give him Zoimim. I cannot. Why can I not? Because if the Kohen wants to be Mechal, is Mechal, you can make him Cholol. So here I can use it. I'm not more than that. According to his question, he's basically saying the whole Eidim Zoimim is abnold. Okay, if it's abnold, then it's not a question. Because if you tell me it's one detail that you have a problem, then you have a good question. But the whole Eidim Zoimim, you're asking me, if there's no Eidim Zoimim, you're right. Therefore, we don't use the Kal V'chomer stam. That's the law. The law is if they kill, they cannot. And if they didn't kill, you kill them. That's the law. That's Eidim Zoimim. That's Torah's Eidim Zoimim, right? But I'm using in a case of a Kohen, I cannot give it to him. I just can't give him what he wants. Tosfos has a pshat. It fits in the words. Just fits in the words. It's also problematic if we think about it, but it just fits in the words. He said like this, Mahasoikel, very interesting. There is 4 punishments of killing someone when they did certain crimes that they have to get killed, right? The harshest one is skilo. Next is sreifa. Skilo means stone, sreifa burning. Hereg means sword, sayef. Chenek means strangling. Okay. The Bechloiket from Shimon and Chachamim, which one is harshest, skilo, sreifa, but whichever. But the bottom line is skilo, sreifa at the top, hereg, chenek are in the bottom. Chenek, hereg, chenek. So those are the 2 and the 2. Okay. When someone kills someone else, Reuven killed Shimon, and 2 witnesses come and say, Levi and Yehuda say that Reuven killed Shimon, right? But he didn't kill him regularly with a gun. He stoned him. What does he become? What kind of punishment does he become? Get hereg. That's the law. In Mois Yumos, the Torah says, Hahoireg, someone kills someone, gets a sword. It doesn't matter how he killed him. You're going to say, he killed him by stone, then you should stone him. No. You killed the person that killed someone. I don't care how he killed him. That's the law. So he said like this. Someone that stones doesn't get skiller. He gets hereg, but he doesn't get skiller. What do you want to give to the Eidim that wanted to say to someone that stoned someone? You wanted to say you should stone him, so you're going to stone them? You can't stone them. Because they wouldn't, the guy that would kill, what they said about him, he wouldn't get skiller, he would get only hereg. And you cannot make such a Kal V'chomer, right? You understand this logic does make Kal V'chomer. Because we can make Kal V'chomer. That's basically Bar Pada is asking. Rabbi Yehuda Bar Pada. That's Tosfos. It's long Tosfos. Tosfos explains the Gemara. That's what explains the Gemara. And Memela, it's very understood. The whole Gemara. Soikel now uses the word skiller. Stoned. Ein on iskol. Habol iskol. The Eidim that they want to say that someone, they want to, and therefore you're not canceling the whole Eidim Zoimim. You're just saying that the in Eidim Zoimim you cannot use no Kal V'chomer. Okay, the bottom line is Ele Mechaver Tok Elishanina Meikoro, as we learned from before. Before we continue, I want to say another Tosfos or 2, but very interesting. Poshet. Let's go back. Understandably from the Mishnah, when the Mishnah says that in a case when a Kohen aid, or Yisrael according to the Ritva, is saying about a Kohen that is a Cholol, and you cannot make them a Cholol, you give them Malchus, understandably, that this will apply to all kind of pisulim, obviously. Not only for Kohen. Anytime, if they're going to say the guy is the mamzer, you can't make them for mamzer because you make the children. So obviously you can't do it. Ask Toys was the first Toys was on the page base on the bottom of the page base on the Aleph. On the first Toys was we have to medactic. And my loy nokat, why didn't the Mishnah say me idim ono beish ploinish mamzer? Why didn't we pick a scenario that's going to go for everyone? This applies also by Yisrael and also by Kohanim. Ben Grusha like Posla by Kohanim. Ben Grusha is only by Kohanim. So you need to have that the Edom should be Kohanim. Or they pick a case of Kohanim. Pick a case. They come and say, we know that this person is a mamzer. Push it. Why didn't the Mishnah take such a case? Answer Tosfos Givaldik. If you remember, the Gemara finished. Why is this Mishnah over here? Because it's after what it said in Gemoro Sanhedrin. In Gemoro Sanhedrin, it says that the Eidim Zoymemin are not like the Bas Kohen that she gets Sreifo and they don't get Sreifo. So being that Mishnah speaks about Kohen, that's why the Mishnah over here continues. Okay, this is it's a side note, but I want to get to the next Tosfos, the last Tosfos of the page.
Answer is because talking about Kohen, so
yeah, the answer is because we speak about Kohenim, so I wanted to pick over here Kohenim also. Very posh. Okay. You understand?
Even though mamzer makes more sense because everybody.
Even the mamzer makes more sense, and it applies to everyone. But the Mishnah, we said it's going after that. And over there, they spoke about Kohanim, Bas Kohen. So he speaks also about the idea of Kohen. Okay, I got the teretz. Tosfos answers, right? But now Tosfos answers very good to kasha. Bein and kasha zomam veleke. We just established, as Rabbi Shua ben Levi said. Why can you not make them a ben Kerusha ben Chalutze? Why can't you make them as a Cholol? Because I want to make them, I have to make also their children. And the children, you say, oh, don't give them and don't give the children. Then it's not going to be Kasher Zomam. They wanted to do the children, and you are giving them, and they don't, and you're not going to give the children. Says Tosfos, I'm going to give you, okay, so that's it. Because of that, we'll give you Malchus. I'm going to give you a case where you could do Kasher Zomam. Eloi v'loi lezaroi. No, what do you say then? And I know, Tosfos already knows that this Mishnah that says, go to all the psulim, and it will go on every puzzle. And I'm going to give you a psul that you only use Ben Grusha Ben Chalutza because you want to speak about Kohanim. But it goes on all psulim. In other words, whenever a testimonial is going to be about someone, it's always going to be Malchus, because we can't do it like him. So give me a nice drash. Good. The drash is, but I'm going to give you a case when there is no problem with children. The witnesses come and say, this man is a Mitzri Sheni. Mitzrim, the Egyptian, are not allowed to marry for 2 generations. A Mitzri Egyptian is not allowed to get married. Only the 3rd generation is allowed to get married with a Yid. First 2 generations cannot get married with a Yid. What do? They get one with another. But if it's one with a Yid, that's going to be a problem. It's always going to be another one. They have to be both 1, 2, and then the 3rd one they can be in. Okay, good. Okay, yeah, right. Comes Tosfos and he says, what happened if witnesses come and say, this man is an Egyptian, a 2nd Egyptian? They want to make him for an Egyptian. They want to make him for a bad name. In other words, he cannot marry a woman now. He cannot marry. Oh, you're going to tell me the Eidim, you guys are ligoners, you're zoimimim. But you know what? I can't do nothing. I'm going to give you Malchus. Why? Because I cannot give to you what you wanted to do to him. Why not? Oh, because you wanted to do their children. No, I don't want to do anything for his children. Her children is going to be fine. Third Mitzrim. Why don't you make them for Mitzri Sheni? Tosis says, no. But you are making a problem to his wife. His wife cannot be married to him. If he's married. If he's not married, he's going to make a woman a cholol. He's going to make that woman is going to be a chalola because she got married with an Egyptian. You mean when he's going to divorce, she cannot get married with a Kohen anyway, but he dies. Then she's an almona, and she can get married with a Kohen. Right? But in other words, you want to do something that's wrong. Based on that, we established Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Bar Pado, wanted to say Kal V'chomer, came Ravina and he said, no, this Kal V'chomer does not go. Here in Eidim Zoymemin we have a problem. Either like Rashi, Ma'asoikil means that the Eidim wanted to bring, they killed someone, or someone really that stoned someone and he doesn't get the same punishment. So there is no Kal V'chomer. So we're going back. That's like Rabbi Shua ben Levi that said a pasuk in Torah. The Torah said Kashezomam lasois, like he wanted to do him, not someone else, and whatever he wanted, you can't give to them because you can't give them alone without the children. So that's the reason by any psul we give malchus. Now, why do we give malchus? We'll get to it. But meanwhile, we know we cannot give to them what they wanted to give. Next case. In Mishnah said that if two witnesses come and say that we are testifying that this person killed someone b'shoige, like unintentionally, and the din in Aloche, in the Chumash brings down a Pashtus Masei, and that's the law is, and we're going to learn the second Perek in Elon Agoylin, that what case does a person like that get? How do we punish them? We give them golus. They go to an ir miklot, to a town, and they're going to be closed over there, and they can never go out over there unless the Kohen Gadol passes away. So obviously they daven day in and day out that the Kohen Gadol should die because they want to be going out. That's a given. That's what they do all the time. We're going to learn later in the Gemara that the mother of the Kohen Gadol bring them food and they bribe them with food and everything, nash and everything, please, because they wanted the son should stay alive. You know, so many people are davening day in and day out. The Kohen Gadol sterben, you know, whichever, because they want to go out. But the bottom line is that they said like that about a person. And then came two Adam and said, you guys are not true what you said. You were with us at that time. So the Mishnah said, we don't say, okay, do you two guys not go to Golos? Go to exile instead of them? No, we don't. Begs the Gemara the same question. From where do you take that they do not get punished what they wanted? They wanted to put this guy, they said that he killed someone unintentionally, right? And he should go to Golus. And the psak din was, the ruling was, okay, Mr. So-and-so, pick your peklach and go to exile. And meanwhile, other witnesses came and made them zoymemin. We say no, they don't get this ordeal. From where do you take this din? Omar Resh Lakish. If you remember before, Reb Shua ben Levi b'shem Reb Shimon ben Lakish. That's why I say that the Resh Lakish there went in because Resh Lakish is over here. Omar Resh Lakish is Reb Shimon ben Lakish. He's obviously younger than Rabbi Yochanan, and he became a brother-in-law of Rabbi Yochanan. The whole story. So Resh Lakish said like this: do you know why they don't go to Golos? And because they don't go to Golos, they get Malchus. But why don't they go to Golos? Poshet. There's a posuk. The posuk says, if you go in Chumash, in the Chumash where it brings down here, if you go on the side, it says, when someone is in the woods, is in the forest, yeah, and he comes to chop wood. No, he comes to chop wood, and meanwhile his metal of the axe of the wood flew away, and it killed someone. And it reached someone, and it killed someone. What's the din? Who Yonus? He. Who is he? He, the guy that made this mistake, this accident. Yonut, he should run away in one of those towns, and he's going to stay alive. That's the din of Golutz. By look at what the Torah says. Who Yonut, he should run. What do you have to say, who Yonus? You just told me if someone chopped wood and by mistake he had an accident and his metal killed someone, run away.
Why say you?
Why did it say you should run away? He, I'm saying, who Yonut? He should run away, which I'm talking about him. What do you mean he should run away? Says Resh Lakish. Who Yonus elachas orim? He should run away to one of the towns. Who? Him. Veloy zoimemin. Not the witnesses that tried to get him to run away. It's often a posuk. Okay. That's what Resh Lakish says. Rabbi Yochanan, in a way, it's his master. But Rabbi Yochanan very, very close to Resh Lakish all the time, right? Rabbi Yochanan says, no. You don't need a posuk. Kal v'chomer. It's obvious. What's obvious? Mahu she'oso ma'aseh b'mezid ein goyle. Madoch. Who? He. She'oso ma'aseh b'mezid. Him. If you do a ma'aseh b'mezid, you don't go to Golutz. Hein she'oso ma'aseh b'mezid ein adin shelo yiglu. He made a ma'aseh b'mezid. It doesn't go to Golutz, and they made a ma'aseh b'mezid. They didn't make a ma'aseh b'mezid. They shouldn't go Golutz. What does it mean? If a person killed someone, b'mezid, on purpose, but he wasn't warned, so he doesn't get the punishment of death. So what punishment does he get?
Malchus?
No. Golus? Should he go to exile? Like if someone killed someone by mistake, on purpose, then they go to Golus. He doesn't get death, so he should really go to Golus. But he didn't know he doesn't go to Golus. He does not go to Golus. Golus exile is made only for someone that killed by mistake. Someone who killed on purpose does not go to Golus. But he doesn't get killed because no one warned him. So he doesn't have the law, the halacha, the din of to kill him. It doesn't apply because what are you going to say? He was warned. He wasn't warned. So says the Gemara like this: Rabbi Yochanan, Mahu, Madoch, he that he did a ma'aser. He did a factual thing. He did a factual thing. B'mezid, and it was on purpose. But he did something. He doesn't go to Golus, doesn't go to exile. Hey, those witnesses, also b'mezid. They did it on purpose. They also did b'mezid. They came and lied. But they didn't do a factual thing. They only spoke. They didn't do. He did a ma'aser. He factual killed. They didn't do it. They only said. They didn't really factual kill. They didn't even do a ma'aser. Dibu. Now the Ritva asks, maybe Akim Asfosov speaking is called a ma'aser, but we're not getting into it now. Bottom line is, even if yes,
Talk is cheap.
Even if you would tell me that the talking is Akim Asfosov, but it's not the same. Talking is much lighter than doing. Someone did. It's much more. And what do you say? He doesn't go to Golus. Someone that talked didn't do something. In other words, he didn't do something. He did b'mezid, but he didn't do it. And obviously he shouldn't go to Golus. So Rabbi Yochanan brings a very good kal v'chomer, right? The Gemara asks a gewaltige, listen to the Gemara. Zog the Gemara, vehi noisenes. You kal v'chomer is actually the reason for yes giving them golus. He Nicenas. What did you say? He did a ma'aser, he doesn't go to golus. They didn't do a ma'aser. You want them to go to golus? Yes, precisely so. Who shows a ma'aser b'mezid? He killed a person. Lo illegally. You can't give him golus. You don't want to give him a kaporo. What is golus? Golus is giving him a forgiveness. You can't give him golus because his act is such a horrible act that golus will not be sufficient to forgive him. So he said, the Eibishter is going to take care of him. I can't give you no. You understand? So the lawyer, so who shows a might have made it? He did an actual thing, bemazed, law illegally. Should not go to golus kehecha because the loy tevele kaporo. He should not be able to have a kaporo, should not have forgiveness. Hein, they should loy also ma'aser bemazed. They did not do a ma'aser bemazed. They only did the words, but didn't really actually kill someone with their own hands. Not illegal. They should go and golus. They should get the golus. What are you telling me? They shouldn't go to golus. If he didn't go to golus, then for sure they shouldn't go to golus. Punkt verkehrt. He cannot go to golus because it's much harsher. What he did, so he cannot get a kapora. But they didn't do such a gefahrliche crime as him. That's what you're saying to me now. It's kal. Choimer, I can't give him kapora. Dim, so who hein shelo zeh nam illegally. Kehecha de level kaporo. Elo mechaverto, but I must say that it's the much better the way the Rish Lakish, like Rish Lakish said. What did the Rish Lakish say? Who yonos alachas orim? He should go to golus. Who veloy zoymemin.
Why? Why is it?